Hi everyone, welcome to our short video on the kit-up process. This is our cylinder that we'll be working with. It's a 12 litre steel cylinder. It's got a booty to assist that it can stand nice and firm, and then you've got the cylinder net protecting the cylinder but also making sure you've got a decent grip with your BCD. We always have a look that the opening of the valve is facing towards our BCD. Now on the BCD itself, it's got a cylinder band at the bottom and then also a guidance band at the neck. So we start off by putting the cylinder band over the cylinder, then we go with the guidance band and we drop it. We make sure that the BCD is nice and 90 degrees with our pillar valve. We're going to tighten it now by pulling it nice and then take the belt, put it through the opening there and use the belt to have a nice clip. After we did that, we will just double check that it's still 90 degrees. If not, you can just adjust it. Double check. Then we're also going to check that the BCD is at the correct height. It must be more or less to the neck area of your BCD. Now we're going to double check that it's nice and tight, so we put our arm through the shoulder straps, hold onto the buckle, lift it up straight and give it a shake just to make sure it doesn't move downwards. We're going to take the regulator out of the regulator bag and always make sure that your second stages don't fall in the dirt. So after we open it up nicely, put it around your neck that you can make sure to keep it safe. We're going to inspect now the O-ring to see that it's not damaged and that it's in position, and we're going to put our hand over the opening of the valve and just by turning it anti-clockwise, just a quick spurt to make sure there's no dirt or anything in the valve. We're putting our hand there to make sure if the O-ring flies out that it doesn't fly away, and just here, just a quick squirt. Okay, we make sure again the O-ring is in position. We take our regulator, we unscrew this to remove the dust cap. The dust cap is there to prevent that any dust, dirt or moist water goes into our first stage. We put it nicely in position over the valve, make sure it goes nice on the O-ring that side, and you tighten it just finger tight. Don't overforce, just finger tight. The next step we're going to do, our inflator hose works on a basis where you pull this part back to fit it. So we go in, pull back, push it over and release. Make sure it's nice and neat, closed with the Velcro there. Now we're going to open the cylinder, but with opening the cylinder, to make sure we reduce the wear and tear on the second stage, we're going to open the second stage by pressing down on the faceplate at the front, which will put it in a free flow position. But to prevent it to free flow, we will put our finger in the mouthpiece just to make sure. Nice push down while I open it and I gently release it. With this, air is rushing through my first stage, through the hose to my second stage. I open the second stage, that first rush of air is rushing through and not hammering down on any mechanical parts or O-rings inside here. By gently releasing it, the pressure in the hose will then increase slightly as I release it. Cool. Next step is where I will test to make sure my regulator is in working condition. So I start off by taking a deep breath, putting my mouth over the mouthpiece and exhaling through the regulator, and then breathing in and exhaling again. And this I will do twice. So it is tastes nice and works fine. I'll just do a nice big knot that it's not lying in the ground. This is my octo. Although I already tested the air and make sure the air is fine, I'm going to test my second stage on my octo as well, just to make sure it's in working condition. Start off again, taking a nice deep breath, putting my mouth over it, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale through the unit. And I can take it and also make a nice big knot with it. The next thing I'm going to test is to make sure my BCD is inflating, my inflator hose is working by pressing down on the inflator hose. If I do overflate it, you will hear it's got a overinflation here and it will release air here. To release the air through the hose, I just press the top button and I can see my BCD is working. I'm going to check now how much air I've got in. Now on the SPG, you've got two gauges. The top gauge, it's your depth gauge, and the bottom gauge, which is closest to the hose, is your pressure gauge. You will see it's marked from 0 all the way to 400, and looking at this, we've got 210 bar in our cylinder. Remember, we never go under 50 bar. That is our reserve. After this, we make sure it's nice clipped in, because we don't want any hoses or anything tangled off. After the process, we're going to close our area and we're going to lay our cylinder flat down. And that's our kit up process. Thank you for watching.